Hey guys, it's Ms. Martinez, and before we start, I want to make sure that you guys have the Desmo Scientific Calculator either on your phone or on the side on your computer. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to our table of contents. And today's date is going to be the 27th, and the topic is squares and square roots. Okay, my page number is 9, yours could be different. Okay, our learning target for today is going to be understand the relationship between squares and square roots. Squares and square roots is our topic, and our essential question: what are the two parts of a radical? Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what is an exponent of 2. So let's say we have something like this, 4, and then like a little 2 right next to it. That little 2 right here is called an exponent. So let's go ahead and put exponent. Okay, and the 4 is called the base. Okay, we're usually just looking at the base and there's no exponent, but now we're going to look at numbers that have a base and an exponent of 2. Okay, later on in high school, you'll find exponents of 3 and 4 and 5 and all those numbers. Okay, so let's see how that works. So let's say if we have 4 with an exponent of 2, that's the same as saying 4 times 4. And we know what 4 times 4 is, 16, right? Let's look at another example. If we have 6 to the power of 2, or 6 with an exponent of 2, that's the same as saying 6 times 6. And 6 times 6 is 36, right? Another example, let's say we have 12 with an exponent of 2. That's the same as saying 12 times 12, which is 144. Okay, so overall, an exponent of 2 is when we multiply the number by itself, and when we do that, it's called squared or squaring a number. We can say 4 squared is 16, 6 squared is 36, 12 squared is 144. Okay, so that's what an exponent of 2 is. It's squaring a number. What is a square root? A square root kind of looks like a division sign, but it's not division. Okay, it's something better than division. So we have like this kind of like a little house that is called a radical, and inside that little house is called a radicand. Okay, and so this radical, it's not division. It has like this little kick right here, right? So that's what makes it not division. It's just a square root. It's also called a radical. And let's see what they do. So if we have like the square root of 16, if we put that in the calculator, we have square root of 16. We have that is equal to 4. Okay, let's try this one. Square root of 36 is equal to 6. And then the last one, we have square root of 144 would be 12. All right. Okay, let's see what we are doing with the square root. So we are finding what number, when we multiply, will give us the radicand. So if we look at these examples, 4, when we multiply it by itself, we get 16, right? 6, when we multiply it by itself, we get 36. And the same for 12, we get 144. Okay, so the exponent of 2 and square roots, they're kind of opposite to each other. Kind of like division is opposite to multiplication, just kind of like that. Okay. All right. So how do we say it? So how do we say that we're going to do something of a exponent of 2 or square root? Okay. We say it like this. So let's say we have 4 squared. That would be the same as this. 4 with an exponent of 2. 4 squared. If we want to do a square root, we will say square root of 4. So whatever is inside that radical, we're going to say the square root of, and then whatever is inside. Okay, so let's do some calculator practice with some of these. Okay. All right. So let's do the square root of 25. So I'm going to put square root. Oh, I didn't hit enter. There we go. Square root of 25. And we get 5. So I know that's going to be 5. let's do the square root of 2. And we have a decimal. So let's go ahead and write that decimal down first. We got 1.414213562. On this calculator, if we have something like this, that means that it goes on forever and ever. And we just don't have room to say that it goes on forever. So we're just going to put a certain amount of numbers. Okay. So if it goes on forever and it does not repeat, that means that this right here, the square root of 2, is an irrational number. Okay, so I'm going to put irrational right next to it. Okay, let's look back at square root of 25. Square root of 25, it gave us 5, right? So 5, we know it's a counting number. It's a counting number, which is a rational number, right? So let's go ahead and put rational on it, right next to it. Okay, now let's look at square root of 9. Let's see what that is. Square root of 9. We get 3. 3 we know is a rational, so I'm going to put rational. Okay, and then let's do the square root of 21. Oh, here we have a long decimal and there's no repetition at all. So we got 4.582575695. And it goes on forever. The reason it doesn't show it on the calculator is because we don't have room for all those numbers. So if it goes on forever and it does not repeat, I know it's irrational. Okay. All right. Let's do one where we have a square. So let's do 16 squared and 100 squared. Those are going to be fun numbers. Okay, so 16 squared, we would have 16, and then this little a squared at the right under the main, that's where we're going to put the square. So 16 squared is equal to 256, and then 100 squared is, oh, that's a big number. All right. All right, so that's how you do the square and the square root on the Desmos. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget your summary, which is, what are the two parts of a radical? Okay, tell me in your own words, what are the two parts of the radical? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and highlight the most important thing today, or most important things. Let's see. All right, so some important things here. We have a few. We have this exponent right here. We have the base, radical and radicand, and then how to say it if that's something that you think you might need. Make sure you know that this is something that will help you later on. Okay? All right. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later.